All right, lots of talk about all things AI and the future of AI here at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Let me just get right to really I would say a foremost thinker in all things AI. That is Salesforce co-founder and CEO, Marc Benioff. Marc, it's just nice to see you. Thanks for making time for us.
Brian, it's always great to be with you.
Yeah, it's great.
All over the world.
Yeah, seriously, we were at Dreamforce, felt like yesterday, so thank you. Has anything surprised you about the AI talk here at Davos, or at this point, you've just seen and done it all?
Well, there's basically, you have AI technologists here at Davos who've got all their whiz-bang, great new party tricks, things they can do. Take a look at this. It's like, David Blaine type, you know what I mean? Like, look at this.
I don't even know how to use some of this stuff.
Yeah, like it's amazing. And then you have CEOs, and CEOs are like, listen, we want to know, what about margin? Mm-hmm. What about productivity? What about higher value customer relationships? Mm-hmm. And that idea and how do those two things come together, that's kind of the conversation that's really happening here. And, I'm trying to tell stories and explain to customers what we're seeing with AI. And I think that as we have been kind of traveling around, we see so many exciting opportunities with AI that customers are going to get much higher margins.
Last year at Davos, AI was still a little bit on the fringes. Not for you. I mean, you're seeing these things many years in advance. This year, I'm sensing like deeper things happening with AI. What have you been seeing? Like, what's the next iteration of all this?
Well, we've been building our Einstein platform for a decade. You know that. Yep. We've talked about Einstein dozens and dozens of times. This week, Einstein will do 1 trillion transactions, wow, which is predictive and generative transactions now, which is really cool. And customers are using it. I just was in Milan with Gucci, and very, part of the Caring Group, incredible company. And they're like, hey, we want to use AI in our call center. And it's like, wait, what do they really want to do here? Is this about, augmentation? Is it about replacement? Is it what are we looking at? And what was cool was we brought in generative AI into our Service Cloud. We're the number one customer service call center, contact center product in the world, as you know. Mm-hmm. And these agents are using it, and we are running this program for now a few months, okay? And they said, something amazing has happened. And I said, what? And they go, number one, revenue's up 30%. I said, wow, that's amazing. Good. Now, this is a center that in Milan, you buy a product, Gucci product, all over the world, and it's not something's wrong with it or you need it changed and so forth. They help resolve that issue for you. It's about 300 people. It's a great group of people, incredible. And they found that by using AI, their employees started to become more augmented, better. Service agents could start to sell and to market. That is really cool, that all of a sudden that these Gucci call center agents are Gucci sales agents, Gucci everything agents. And the AI gave them the information, the capability, the workflow to be able to do all kinds of amazing new things. That's an exciting story.
When you're in that Gucci call center, when you leave there, do you think, man, maybe I won't see that employee next time because of AI? Where is your head after a visit such like that?
There's no question that where AI is going is digital employees, digital salespeople, digital service people, digital market, digital people.
Yeah.
That idea that we're going to have people like me and you, and there's going to be digital people. Maybe one day I'm going to walk into the Yahoo room and I'm going to be interviewed by the AI instead of Brian. Listen, I don't know.
I need to make it to my retirement, Marc.
But here's Brian. Okay. Here's the point.
Okay, go.
That's not true today.
Okay.
So in today's world, that's not where AI is. We know that AI's got a lot of problems still, like it lies,
Well, hallucinations, you gave me that term. I never heard of hallucinations.
It's hallucinating, it's lying, it's built on stolen data, it's, there's all kinds of problems with AI still. So those issues need to kind of get worked out over time. But we've all seen the science fiction movies. We know where AI can go. But right now, AI can really, make people a lot better. And you know that I'm a huge Disney fanboy. Mm-hmm. And this year I've been to Disneyland 4 times, okay? And every time I'm there, and I work with Disney all over the company, and if you go to the Disney store online, that's Salesforce, and you talk to the call center at Disney Plus, that's Salesforce. And if you go to Disneyland, and you are, you hire one of those Disney guides, those are the people to kind of help you get through the park a little faster. It was like invented by Walt Disney. It's like the coolest product. for years I've worked with them, and now you'll see they're carrying a telephone with them, and if you look down at the phone, you'll see, oh, wait, Brian Sozzi. The whole system of record, everything is Salesforce, and Slack. They're all talking to all the other Disney guides, collaborating, and they're all better because of Einstein and AI is augmenting them.
That's like wild for you, Marc, as a co-founder. I think back 10 years where the company was, 10 years forward today, to see that type of technology?
Well, it's completely cool. And I have a vision that, my dream is one day I walk into the park and I've opted in somehow and I've said I want to be part of this idea, but I was watching The Mandalorian last night on Disney Plus, and as I walk into the park, Anaheim or Tokyo or Euro or wherever it is, and the Mandalorian walks up to me and says, "Hey, Marc, how did you like that last night?"
That's weird.
That's when I'm like,
that's so weird.
Home run, finally.
We made
making the connection. And I think for some people that's going to be a little spooky. And then for me, it's going to be very kind of cool because I actually understand the data parts of it. And I think that that's a great opportunity for Disney. That'll be a next level of the Disney parks.
I didn't know how to phrase this. So how concerned are you about a world of digital people? Like, to me, it is spooky.
Well, I think there's a lot of different ways to think about it. And, one of the, I pay a lot of attention to my health. I think you know that. And so I get a CT scan of my heart. It's called the CTA scan. I've had like 3 over 15 years. So they look inside your heart and how's it doing. And, 15 years ago, I went to LA to this great scanning center, met with this person who invented the calcium scoring. He did it. He's like, "Oh, you're fine. Come back 5 years." Here it is. We're going to watch this. You're older now. And then I did it a couple years ago, and they're like, "Yes, you're doing great still. And we're still watching that. Great." Then this year, they took that same CTA scan, and they're able to put it into an AI.
Wild.
And then the AI said the same thing. And why that's exciting is, yes, I can go to LA and meet with the guy who invented calcium scoring. Incredible person. But think about all the people in the world who have access to a CT scanner. We just saw the CEO Siemens here. It's a great customer of Salesforce outside. And that idea that now there's a CT scanner, there's somebody who needs to have a scan, and you don't need the very top person in the world. You have somebody who can be there, a radiologist, in concert with this AI, and you can have this analysis. It's not perfect, it's not a replacement, but for sure it's a democratization. There's an equanimity that comes from having that capability. And I think that is the way to start to really think about that. Again, it's an augmentation story, but it's a very exciting story for the future.
Ahead of this conference, Marc, and I hate name dropping, especially in front of you, but nonetheless, I talked to the head of the IMF, and she was making a point that
Kristalina.
Yes, AI.
I love her. She's one of my favorite people in the world.
Awesome.
Yeah,
great thought leader. But she was making the case that AI is going to spread and create more global inequality. Do you agree with that?
Well, there's no question it could. I've actually been saying that for decades, that AI could be, a creator of inequality. It could also be a creator of equality. I think AI has to be almost a human right to have access to AI, and we need the governance around AI. Listen, we're coming into a really critical year on elections, and we all understand social media and what social media can be like, and what can happen with social media and how it can go really wrong. And the reality is, over the last decade, social media has been kind of show.
Yeah,
and we've had a lot of talks about that.
Nothing. No regulation. Do you think they'll
regulate? How many times have we talked about that?
A lot. It's been you've been consistent. They have done a disastrous job on this. Will they do a better job on?
And we don't look at Section 230. We don't look at anything. So now we're coming into AI. I think we just were at this UK Safety Summit, and I was very impressed that every regulator from every major country in the world was all there, and that they are really looking at, how are they going to really look at AI and make sure that it stays on the rails? Maybe because they've seen the movies, so they understand where it can go, But I think that this is a really critical moment that these regulators need to step up and to really take this very seriously, because this is real.
When we first came in contact with you, Marc, many years ago at this conference, we talked a lot about climate, and it got me thinking of all the good work you've done with your close friend Jane Goodall. And not one conversation really that we have had here so far at this conference has been on climate and climate change. And frankly, that bothered me. And do you feel as though the world is paying enough attention right now?
There's
to
a lot
change?
of conversations happening,
Still
here
happening
on climate. Yeah, you may not
Okay.
be in them, but the CEOs meetings that I'm in,
Okay.
there is lots of conversations and a lot of good stories, and a lot of progress has been made by a lot of companies on, number one, reducing their emissions.
Yep.
Okay, number two is a major program that I run here, which is our trillion trees, which is the idea that we need more biodiversity.
Yep.
We had 6 trillion trees, we've gone down to 3 trillion. Every trillion trees is 200 gigatons of carbon. Now, why that is important is, when you remember in 3rd grade, these trees can take CO2 out of the atmosphere and convert that to oxygen.
Yeah.
And we need to replenish our biodiversity. We need to take care of our oceans. We need to reduce overfishing, protect 30% of our oceans by 2030. We need to, nurture our coral. We need to address the issues that are going on with plastic. There's an incredibly important treaty that's about to be signed by the UN in regards to plastic. And this idea that we have so much plastic out there, and the plankton in the ocean are eating the plastic, and the fish are eating the plastic and the plankton, and we are eating the fish. And we all understand that. I don't think it's not a mystery how the world cycle is.
No.
And yeah, we need to take care of our planet, and this is an incredible part of what we're doing. And we also need an ecopreneur revolution. Entrepreneurs like me are coming out of schools. I just funded a $25 million program at Stanford, which combines the sustainability school and the business school to bring them together to create an ecopreneur school. The idea that people can build a business that takes care of the world. That the business of business doesn't have to be just business, it can be about improving the world, and that business can be the greatest platform for change. And this idea that businesses and CEOs can create companies to even nurture our environment, that's really amazing, and there's a lot of examples here at the show as well.
I know this issue is very close to your heart, and you're putting your money where your mouth is, Marc, but do you feel as though this presidential election in the US, climate policy is also on the ballot, and does that upset you?
Well, yeah, I've been through this now so many times, 25 years at Salesforce, growing the company to 70,000 employees. We've given guidance, we're heading to 35 billion approximately, in revenue this year. And that idea that there have been so many presidents and administrations during that time, I guess what I realized was administrations are going to change, but our core values are not going to change. So we know we're about trust, customer success, innovation, we're about equality, and we're about sustainability. So we're going to care about the trees and the oceans no matter who's in office.
Salesforce is a different company compared to 1 year ago. What has made it a different company? I had a breakfast with your team earlier on, and it was a different vibe, focused on the numbers, focused on using data in a trusted way. It just feels like a different entity.
We really got to another level in our business in terms of size and scale when we became the 3rd largest software company in the world, 2nd largest software company in Japan. And we realized we needed to take our capabilities up. That's why we've improved our margins more than 1,000 basis points in the last year, which is kind of incredible. And I don't think our financials have really been better. Our products have never been more competitive. Our customers have never been more successful, and it's great to connect with them here at the conference. And I think that management team that we were talking about, people like Brian Millen, who's my Chief Operating Officer, and Amy Weaver's my Chief Financial Officer, have been the most loyal lieutenants, but also just phenomenal executives in terms of their ability to operate the business. It's been just a joy to work with the team.
Lastly, before I let you go, I know you're a busy guy at an event like this, seriously. Any leadership?
For you, I have as much time as you want.
You've been a great friend to Yahoo Finance. Marc, any leadership advice you can offer the next generation of leaders, people that may be coming in contact with you for the first time on our platform, and they hear what you're saying, how do they become better leaders?
Look, I think that there's so many important things that you can do. I think using your business as a platform for change is probably number one. I guess the thing that we did that was so great was our 1-1-1 model. That when we started our company, we put 1% of our equity, 1% of our profit, 1% of our time into a foundation. It was very easy at the time because we had no employees, no stock. There was nobody, no activist investors. Nobody was giving me any business. But that's turned into almost $1 billion in grants. We run 50,000 nonprofits for free on our service. We've been able to do almost 10 million hours of volunteerism all over the world, and we, can have a huge impact. Even here at the conference, we run a program for kids where we teach them computer science and AI, using our facilities. That our core values in our company are about giving back, and that we realize that that's the real joy in life, where it's really the fun part is we love the products. I love making the customers successful, the Gucci's, the Disney's, the Fords.
Do good.
But I also want to, giving back is also so much fun. And I think that CEOs and entrepreneurs rob themselves of that joy when they don't think about how they can use their business to improve the world. Look, everybody doesn't have to do everything, but everybody can do something. And if you can do one thing and you can create a culture of doing something, that's exciting for business. And there's so many great examples of that today.
It is always exciting to get a little time with you. Marc Benioff, Salesforce co-founder and CEO, thank you. I appreciate it.
It's great to see you,
Thank you.
Brian.
Really great to
Thanks
see you.
for
Pleasure.
having me
Thank
here.
you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.